Welcome to Colts Net Live. I'm Zachary Freeman here for doubleheader action between the Centennial Colts and the George Brown Huskies. We've caught us right in the middle of starting lineup, so we're going to send things down for Centennial's starting five and national anthems. And once again, welcome inside the Athletic and Wellness Center here at Centennial College at the Progress Campus just south of the 401. It is women's basketball action to start off the evening between the Centennial Colts and the George Brown Huskies. And a good opportunity for a still winless Colts team to pick up their first win. They're playing a George Brown team that finished below them in the standings last season and who they beat in both meetings last night as we get into our starting lineups for the game. First for the visiting Huskies, Jacelyn Valencia and Adrian Williamson, along with Shay Littman at the guard spots, with Jasmine Davis and Anan Abutulam in at the forward positions. And for the Centennial Colts, the starting lineup tonight, back in is Sixth Woman of the Year from last season, Marion Martin. She's been on the mend coming back from a concussion, but head coach Naomi Mulling said she is poised to get a lot more minutes. Important to have that outside shooting back in the lineup. Then you also have Michaela Hawkins, the only double-digit scorer on this Colts team, joined by Zane Michael, Tara Dowrich, and Danica Walker, as the tip is won by the Colts, and we are off. We are going to be joined by Ryan Miller eventually, but for now we just start off with Martin as passing it out there to Michael. Michael's going to take a jumper from the side. That one no good. Rebound George Brown, and bringing it up the floor is Shay Littman, who finds it inside to Abutulam. Back up to Littman. Littman driving baseline, finding an option up top, and it's swung over to Abutulam, who's driving right, takes a hard spill. And the first foul is going to be called of the game. That one's going to go against Michaela Hawkins. So it's the first personal and first team foul for the Colts. This is a team that's looking to be a lot more aggressive on defenses. That shot was disruptive. Davis missing her first look is off the second chance opportunity. Abutulam gets the first 3 points for the Huskies. Hawkins breaking that one up, finding Dowrich on the inside. Nice feed. Almost looked like a botched possession as they were about to throw it right into the trap of the Huskies. Good job by Hawkins to step in and find Dowrich. At the top, Valencia in the corner for Littman. Crossover dribble, that one stripped by Michael, but taken by Davis, and now it's Abatulam back at the top, taking the screen of Davis, and they're going to say an illegal screen with an extra shove by Jasmine Davis, so it's going to be a turnover, and Colts basketball with 8:46 left to go, 3-2 Huskies lead. It's Hawkins trying to break this pass, finds Dowrich as they cross the timeline for Martin at the top using the left. Has that one stripped away and going the other way are the Huskies. Williamson with it, driving left after the steal. Good D down low by Hawkins. Rebound got him by Davis. Second opportunity there, and it's taken out by the Huskies. It's into Davis, driving on Hawkins with the right, too strong. Rebound Hawkins. Advance to Michael in the front court. Martin not there to see it, and it's taken away by Davis. So a couple of those passes for the Colts into the backs of their own players. As at the top, Williamson drives right on Hawkins. Nice crossover, Euro step with the left. No good. Rebound Davis, and she puts it up and in. So Centennial giving up a lot of offensive rebounds early, as this is an aggressive press shown as Michael gets it over center in the nick of time, but a loose ball there taken away by Davis. As that one's thrown away and is going to go the other direction, as we're going to have our first substitution of the game. It's going to be Aliana Dominguez checking in for Marion Martin. Both of those passes that wound up in turnovers off that press break were thrown at Martin before she had turned in the direction. And advancing it now is Tiffany James, who's also checked in. And that one was trying to be grabbed by Dowrich, but she swats it out of bounds, and it's George Brown ball. Here we go. James is in for Hawkins on the quick substitution. As Centennial's showing a press of their own, Coach Mulling said that they were going to start showcasing their press today, see what it looks like after not using it the first few games, as putting in the easy layup there, Adrian Williamson. Colts easily break the press this time. It's Dominguez up top for Michael. Michael with 11 turnovers in their last loss to Durham, as she gets the shot up, and that one falls short. This Colts team, turnovers have been an issue with over 20 a game as Abatulam misses it, but another offensive rebound as Abatulam's inside and gets it for the easy layup. 21 turnovers nearly for this Colts team, but if there's one team that turns the ball over more, it is the Huskies, as that's going to be an over and back violation as Dowrich took off on the George Brown side of center. 9-2 the score, as now Olivia Barakat-Diab checks into the game for Dowrich. Looking for a little more interior presence early, as reaching for it there off the inbounds was Danica Walker. It crossed back over center, and they're going to say Abatulam was the last player to touch it, so it's an over and back violation on the Huskies, and the Colts will take over with 6:25 left to go in the first. It's Dominguez steering traffic from the top, trying to get on the roll. Barakat-Diab puts it up just short, reaching for the rebound though, eventually taken away by Abatulam, and off to the races is Littman, and she'll put up the easy two. And another errant pass that's tipped away, but it's in the hands of Barakat-Diab. As Michael with it back to Dominguez, thought about the shot, goes back inside to Barakat-Diab. Michael driving inside. That one was stripped away by Valencia, but they're going to call a foul. And that's going to send Zane Michael to the line. So Michael to shoot 2. The ball control has been an area of concern, averaging nearly 6 turnovers a game. But she's also tied for the team lead at 67% free throw shooting. She converts the first, and Marion Martin is right back at the table. Second free throw is good, so 11-4 the score. And coming in for the shooter is Martin. Like we mentioned, Martin's 6th Woman of the Year in the OCAA East Division last season. And bringing up the ball is Littman, guarded by Martin. Up top to Valencia. Looking for an option, finds Littman again in the corner, falling out of bounds. And that one tips off the hands of Williamson. And it's going to go the other direction. We're going to have a big substitution here for the George Brown Huskies, which will include Jordan Dawkins, number 14, a member of the all-rookie team last season and all-star second team in the East Division. Also checking in, number 18, Gloria Asasui, leading scorer and leading rebound getter on this Husky team. As with her first shot of the game, Ava Proskos misses, and going the other way is Tiffany James. James up top, Barakat Diab to Martin, looking for an option, guarded by Valencia. Driving left, finds Dominguez on the side for the 3. That one goes down. There's the first 3-pointer of the game for the Centennial Colts, and it comes off of Eliana Dominguez as a foul's going to be called off the press break. It's going to be called on Danica Walker, her first. As we welcome in Ryan Miller to the broadcast for the first time, I believe, this season.
Hey, Zach. Thanks for having me on again. I was commentating in soccer, but now is an opportunity for basketball, so glad to be checking in. Not as big of a substitution as George Brown, but I am here, so let's see how this game plays out. Colts are down about 4 points right now, but it is early, so let's see how this game plays out.
At the top, Akogi. And a foul's going to be called on the Colts. It's going to be called on Michaela Hawkins. Got a little grab on Asasui. So that's going to be Hawkins' second personal. So we'll see how long Coach Mullings chooses to keep her in the game. As Zimbet at the top, and Dominguez tips it, and now she is off, and gets the ball stripped from behind by Asasui, but it's going to remain in the Colts' favor.
Yep. Just looking at that replay, we see Dominguez anticipating the inbound pass, tips it in on alone, but unfortunately loses the ball, but it's still going to be Colts ball inbounds.
James on the inbound, wide open in the middle. Martin trying to use that inside leverage over the taller Asasui and gets the 2.
So nice coming down off the pin down, comes around the screen and gets the nice easy 2.
It's Valencia. Works it in the middle to Asasui. Dishes it off quickly there for Dawkins. That one blocked by Barakat Diab.
Not in my house.
Coming out of nowhere to send that one out of bounds. It'll still remain Husky ball, but they only have 12 seconds on the shot clock as it's inbounded quickly to Proskos. Asasui with the floater. That one well short. An air ball falls out of bounds, but they're actually going to say it was deflected. So that's going to be a block shot to, I believe it was Barakat Diab again.
Yep.
Getting her second block of the game here in the first quarter.
Yep, Barakat Diab using her size inside the paint to let the GBC know, hey, I'm here, I'm in the paint, I'm watching.
On the second chance inside, and Koji misses it.
Great defense by Olivia over there. Didn't jump, just had her hands up high, forcing the miss.
In the corner, Asasui's triple, no good. Rebounded James. Trapped aggressively in the corner, but finds the safety valve in Hawkins.
When they talk about the air up there, I don't think that's what they were talking about when it comes to missed threes. Air ball.
And now you got to say it on the Centennial side, as Marion Martin's just a little too strong. 11-9, the Huskies lead.
Yep, this is her first game, or not actually her first game, her second game back. Her first game at home, actually, playing. She is one of the captains of this team. She missed the early half of this season with a concussion, but she's been cleared to play by athletic therapists Tina Sato and Kaylin Frazier. So good team. Good on the AT team for getting Marianne Martin back in the season.
And speaking with Coach Naomi Mullings before the game, she said how important it is to get Martin back into this lineup. Her outside shooting is too important, and it's Dominguez with the left. No good, but the rebound by Barakat Diab is going to be waved off.
Yeah, if you look at the replay here, off the rebound, you can see that Barakat Diab, unfortunately, using her hand to push off the secure positioning there. So ref, easy call for him, sees the hand on the back, says nope, offensive foul, so it's going to be side out of bounds, GBC Huskies.
So off the loose ball foul, that's the Colts' fourth of the quarter. So next foul puts George Brown in the bonus with 3:32 left to go in the opening frame as the ball is inbounded to Proskos, and that press that Coach Mullings was talking about before the game is out, just not quite at a full court trap level yet as Valencia drives left. Back to Proskos at the top, and a foul's going to be called on the reach by Dominguez. And that's going to put the Huskies into the bonus.
Yep, ref says nope, on the ground, going to be shooting two, no continuation anywhere there. So 2 shots for the Huskies.
Proskos, a very good three-point shooter at 45% on the season. However, just 35% from the free throw line, just 4 of 11 as the first one rattles home. Twelve to 9, George Brown leads.
Yep, they took an early lead, but Colts have been able to steadily chip away through that quarter.
And that one, a long rebound. Nice job by Hawkins to tip that one out of the hands of Okoji.
Thankfully enough, they've only been able to put about 2 points up, so it hasn't been too crazy, and that's Hawkins. Hawkins, walking bucket. She had 20 points last game, looking to score early and often.
Hawkins, like we mentioned earlier, the only double-digit scorer on this Centennial team.
Yeah.
As at the top is Okoji, who finds Osasui, who's going to take the triple. Tried to go for the bank, but it's past 5 o'clock. The banks are closed. As going hard into Barakat Diab, and that's going to go the other way.
Had to be. She was there. She was outside the cylinder. She had her arms up. Easy call for the ref. Charge. Colts ball.
So the foul goes on Adrian Williamson as we're going to have our first timeout of the game called by the George Brown Huskies. George Brown was off to an electric start on a 9-2 run, but Centennial clawing back. This is now just a 3-point game, and when I was talking to Coach Naomi Mullings prior to this one, she said this is an opportunity, we've been building in the right direction. Now is the time to put it all together. We do want to make a push this season. We're just trying to get to that point where we can feel comfortable and confident in our abilities.
Yep.
Centennial seems to be doing a lot better in the early going. There were those first 3 minutes, Ryan, where we had seen issues that we had seen in previous Colts games with trying to break that press just with a few of those errant passes.
Yeah, and it comes down to communication, making sure, especially if you are playing a zone, you are playing a press, that you need to have your positioning. That means all moving as a cohesive unit of 5, making sure that where you're blocking passing lanes, you're not challenging on the shot, you've got your area, you're moving towards as a unit. But if you play zone and you're not moving securely, then people are going to make easy drives, or it's an easy jump shot. So it's a difficult balance in terms of defending, but Colts are a lot better than they were at the beginning of the year. At the beginning of the year, teams are almost walking in, rent-free and everything along those lines, but they've really tightened it up over the last couple of games. So good work by, good adjustments by Naomi Mullings and the rest of her coaching staff.
Colts are getting outscored by an average of 27 points per game. The defense has to tighten up, and it has so far, as now it's Zane Michael who checks back in after the timeout, looking inside for Danica Walker, but that one just out of reach, so it's going to go the other way, Huskies ball.
And that was a good two-person scenario right there. Walker leaves the pick, ducks inside, and Zane almost finds her on the pick and roll, but just a little bit too high, and it was going to be out of bounds, so Huskies ball.
And we mentioned Zane Michael, almost 6 turnovers a game. Those are one of the ones that you will tolerate as she just gets it right back there, snatching it. But that one lost by Dominguez. That might have bounced off her shin on her way up the floor. But the ball goes right back to the Huskies after a nice steal by Michael.
Yep, Dominguez, she's going to have to really clean that up. Has had 2 great opportunities and unfortunately has just fumbled it when she's had the opportunity to score. So really going to need to clean that up. They're looking for her to get baskets early and often.
It's Michael driving right into Osasui, and they're going to call a foul. So sure. Zane Michael will go to the line for foul shots 3 and 4.
So nice little 2-on-1 there. Zane putting her head down and going for the basket. Ref says, yep, there's contact, shooting 2.
Back into the game as well for the Colts is Tara Dowrich. Dowrich, who's averaging 8 rebounds a game to lead this Colts team, was a pivotal asset in breaking that press when they started getting it going in the early going, having that safety valve in the middle.
Yeah, and she's last season she actually led the league in rebounds, which is fantastic, and was one of the top rebounders in the nation. So good to see that Dowrich is continuing that streak into her 2nd season.
It's Dawkins working on Dominguez. Nice crossover, working her way inside. Left-hand finish, no good. Grabbing for it is Osasui, but ripped away by Danica Walker, who's now charging towards the basket. Out for Dowrich, mid-range jumper, good. Nice find there. Seeing she was in the double team, easy find for Walker to Dowrich.
Yep. Net. When there's a double team, there's someone open, and if you can find who that open shooter is, they've got a great opportunity to score a bucket, and that's exactly what Dowrich did.
It's Dawkins as Littman and Abutulam head back to the table. Dowrich getting it off a deflection, and Dominguez with it in the front court.
Yeah, Davis was looking for that pick and roll, a nice little pocket pass, bounce pass, but it was broken up by the Colts D. Great opportunity.
Dowrich fakes the pass, in and out on the mid-range, as going up for it again is Danica Walker. Nice tenacity to get that second chance opportunity, and she will go to the line for a chance at 2 and for a chance at the lead.
Yep, love to see it. So Dowrich almost had it, cheated by that rim right there, is in and out. She's already back on defense, but thankfully Walker is there to get the offensive rebound and the foul.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the building more than just about anyone here.
Yep, despite, the wishes of my wife, but that's okay. I loves Colts Nation, so always happy to comment on this stuff. So no, it's fantastic to see them put it together. But you gotta, those are free baskets, and they don't come easy all the time. So if you're gonna have your free throws, you gotta make them. But
it's Littman inside, and that's Dawkins hitting the layup. I was gonna ask you though, is this rim less forgiving than the other? Is there one that skews in a certain direction?
I don't know. I don't hoop enough like I used to be able to tell you that answer, but it doesn't seem to be doing the Colts any favors. But it wasn't a problem for the Huskies in the first quarter, so who knows? But might just be the way it goes right now. A little bit unlucky, but things are starting to fall. And just on that last play, unfortunately, you miss the rebound, you cheat on defense a little bit, you give up a 3-on-1. And Huskies are able to take the lead once again. So Colts really got to clean up, take care of the ball, and if they can't keep care of the ball, get back on defense.
In the corner for 3, no good for Michael, but Dowrich grabs the offensive rebound, looking for a cutting Dominguez, and that one's going to roll by her and head out of bounds. Tightly covered, though, that time by Williamson.
Good idea there by Dowrich, finding the cutting Dominguez, looking to get a nice little 2 there, but unable to connect on the pass.
It seems like the cuts are there through the lane for the Colts in the early going. It's just about execution and getting the ball in the hands of your teammate.
Yeah, particularly for shooters in the corners, that back cut is there. So if you're able to penetrate at the top of the key and slot it off, you've got a nice easy 2. Colts just need to be able to connect on their passes to make that stuff happen because it's bread and butter. It's easy if you can connect.
That 3 by Dawkins, no good, rolls out of bounds, so it's going to be Colts ball with 6.7 to go here in quarter number 1. It's James, 5 on the clock, trying to find a shot. Has to turn, has to heave. No good off the backboard. But a positive first quarter for the Centennial Colts, a bit of a shaky start, but they found their bearings, especially on the defensive end, down just 2 at the end of 1.
Hey, I mean, that's what, it's been worse at the start of the season, but it really looks like the coaching and the effort that the coaching staff has done for this team is really starting to show effect. It's tough. We were here in the summertime, and we saw all these new recruits come in at the beginning of the year, and a lot of these players, they're coming out of high school. 17, 18, 19 is a new experience for them playing at this level, and it's unfortunate because the Colts had probably, in terms of strength of schedule at the top, probably one of the harder strength of schedules at the very top, so unable to really get any kind of easy wins like they have had in the past to kind of get their feet under them. But it's a battle. It's a long season. We're only in the first month. We're going until February at this point. Season's young. We haven't even stopped for the winter break, which is coming up in December 2nd. So, lots of things to work on, but they're not out. Season's very, very new. Lots of things to opportunity. But I know Naomi, in terms of the dedication, her in the office, the stuff that she does to get these young women prepared for each game is just, it's impressive. So you just want to be able to put 2 and 2 together, and as a coach you can only do so much, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and especially, a coach can only do so much. This is not just an affliction for the women's team, but the men's basketball team as well, is health. The Colts are only rocking with 8 bodies today. Yeah. And on the men's end, we'll get to that later when we get to the men's broadcast. They have a flurry of injuries of people holding them out today. Yeah, and again, it's one of those things where you hope to have everyone healthy. You pick up these little bumps and bruises, and in a short season that's only about 20 games long. Injuries, particularly if it lasts more than 1 game, can not necessarily sink you over the season, but can definitely make things significantly harder. Now, thankfully, fortunately enough, the top 8 teams make the playoffs. So as long as you're in there at the end, by the end, you've got a chance. And, it's about peaking. You look at this across sports in general, it doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish. It's a cliche, but it rings true, continuously. You just look, as long as you start hitting your performance when it really, really matters, then you're okay. But you can't fall too far back. You got to make sure that you're in the right position to take advantage. And hopefully, if the Colts can keep it close in this game and throughout the rest of the season, then they'll be in a prime position to win that crossover game coming up in February. Absolutely. And Coach Mullings, when you talk to her, she's not at all worried about the state of this team. It's 4 games into a 14-game season. Yeah. There's still plenty of time, and even if you do finish below 500, that is good enough to get you into one of those cross-division games. Yep. God bless the OCAA, I got to say. So, we'll see. Second quarter starting. Colts are down by 2. We're at the start of the second quarter. Ryan Miller here. Zach Friedman. You're tuning in to OCAA Live. So starters back on the floor for the Huskies, albeit 1 substitution. Okoji is in for Davis, and it is mostly the starters on the floor today. Walker securing the rebound there, not being challenged, looks off any defenders. It's Michael using the screen there from Walker, creates a nice bit of separation. And just an easy jumper for Zane Michael. So great opportunity there. Michael using the pick. Walker cutting in case there was a rebound there, but no need to worry. Nice 2 from Michael. Easy. That one was tipped away by James, but now it's back up top for Okoji, who hits the foul line jumper. The Colts need to remember their formations and their shaping. They had great opportunity there, but they were... There's a turnover. As inside Valencia, going down is James. No call, but missing the layup. And James secures the rebound, gets it off to Michael, and now the Colts are off in transition. Valencia is definitely going to want that back. She had an easy opportunity, and again, a turnover from Michael. And going all the way, takes a quick little dribble for security. Shea Littman, 18-14 Huskies lead. A lot of options on that last transition play. It just looked like Michael chose the wrong one, and another poor choice by Michael as Abatulam goes the other way. Easy left-handed layup in transition as Marion Martin heads back to the table. Ball advanced in the front court to Walker. Abatulam's second consecutive steal. We're looking at the Huskies. They're using a 2-1-2 press right now, so they're catching the point guard very early on in the attack, forcing the turnover and using that 2-on-1 to create easy opportunities on the other end. It's Littman driving right, going up, no call, a lot of contact there, But going the other way, it's James. Driving inside, going straight into it. Nice Euro step. Almost spun that one in with the left.
Yep.
But no go, but she will go to the line for 2 free throws.
So nice attack. 1-2 step, finish with the left. Unable to connect. Great creativity there by James.
It's going to be Marion Martin and Michaela Hawkins to check back in for Centennial after the first shot.
This may be one of those games where Mullings has to ride her starters. She wants to get that first win of the season. If that means that Martin and Hawkins have to play a lot more, then so be it. But coming in as substitutions 8 minutes into the second half, very, very early on. So let's see how that affects. And I know that's going to be a point of contention for Mullings is you got to make your free throws. You got to make your free throws. It's right there. That's why they call it the charity stripe.
Sorry, Ryan.
No,
I believe a bench warning was just given to Zane Michael. Saw the ref turn to her and give her one of the...
Yeah, absolutely. You got to cut it out. Refs don't play, and that means conversations from the bench. If a technical or a warning needs to be given out, then so be it. But having opportunities for the game to get out of hand because players are talking on the side of the bench, then not going to happen.
It's Littman inside there. That was for Akoji. It was swatted away by Dowrich. Martin bringing it up for the Colts. Nice in and out dribble to try and get by Williamson, but it's Hawkins. That was a good look, just didn't go.
You know, Zach, earlier you mentioned Colts only having 8 players, but that's not always a bad thing. When you're playing with a shorter bench, more players have more opportunity to get into their rhythm. We're looking at George Brown Huskies, and they've got substitutions like it's a hockey lineup. Bringing them 5 on, 5 off makes it hard for people to get into a flow, but doesn't seem to be affecting right now as they're up 22-15.
That was a nice strong move by Akoji for the Huskies as they're up 7 now, 22-15. We've got about 6:45 left to go in the first quarter. 7 seconds on the shot clock here for Walker. Nice pass on the inside. That one not hitting the rim, so the shot clock never reset on the offensive rebound by Martin, but we're going to go the other way as a loose ball foul is going to be called on the Colts. As checking back in is Jasmine Davis in for Akoji. Valencia off to Davis, and that's going to be a walk. Adrian Williamson getting started a little too quickly on that one, never put the ball on the floor. Colts basketball.
Right now, if you're just tuning in, Colts down 7 right now, 22-15. George Brown Huskies.
It's Walker. Back out to Hawkins. Left open for that jumper. No good. Kayla Hawkins has been pushing all of her shots to the left today, it seems.
She had an early bucket early on, but has gone cold the last two shots. So let's see.
Driving in on the floater there, Jacelyn Valencia. As that one out of reach, taken away by Valencia, swatted away by Hawkins.
Hawkins using that big 5'9" frame to guard the smaller GBC player. So we'll see, but great defense there, great heads-up awareness. Unfortunately, it came off of a sloppy play on the turn.
I was about to say instant ratification for the poor pass.
Yep, you got to make up for it. Colts are, you wish, they're down 9 now. They're shooting 26% from the field. So certainly not numbers that you'd like, particularly when you got the Huskies shooting around 40%. You're always going to have better numbers in terms of offense, but Colts have got to limit those turnovers. They've got 9 turnovers right now to the Huskies 7. So, and fortunately, they haven't done that poorly in terms of giving up points. They've only given up 1 point off that turnover. So,
and as we mentioned, George Brown is a team that actually turns the ball over far more than Centennial, nearly 10 more turnovers a game on the Husky side. So it's really just been about Centennial's ability with the ball in their hands, just taking that extra second maybe to find that right option as opposed to just throwing it to the first person you see.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's what you got to do though is when you force those turnovers, you got to score on fast break points. You got to score on the fast break. Colts have 0 points off fast breaks, which means that they're not turning it into transition fast enough off of those turnovers. So if you're gonna force those turnovers, you gotta convert, or you're letting the team off the hook. You've done all the hard work to force the defense to give up the ball, and when you're not scoring or capitalizing on it, you're giving them a break. So you gotta punish them for every one of those mistakes, and Huskies got to do that as they continue on.
As we come out of the timeout, Centennial will look to get things going offensively. Ryan mentioned they're shooting 26% from the field today. That's about on par with their season average, where they shoot just 28% as a team. As it's Martin bringing it up. That one a little too strong, but Walker able to corral it. As it's James inside to Dowrich trying to work in the post. She's doubled, but she gets away, puts up a nice little one-legged move there.
Yep, she was turning in, looking for that over-the-shoulder hook. Was blocked by the Huskies, turned the other way and flipped it up. Nice little two there from Dowrich.
It's Valencia. That one tipped away by Dowrich. Loose ball got him by Ava Proskos.
Proskos, lucky, very lucky there. Not punished. Hawkins went in for the steal. Proskov luckily turned away and was able to find the cutter on the inside, but unfortunately, it's not a bad thing. She goes up, she gets fouled, she gets two, and now she's shooting at the line. So overall, good work there, and just you got to tighten up that defense for the Colts.
Foul was called on Marion Martin underneath, as missing the first free throw is Williamson. Williamson in her first year with the Huskies, out of Pickering, Ontario. And second free throw is good. So the lead is now 8 as we have a substitution. It's going to be Eliana Dominguez returning in for Marion Martin.
So obviously, Mullins doesn't want to exert Martin too much in her second game back, so quick little 2 minutes and off and back in for Dominguez.
Trapped just as she crossed center was Dominguez. Turned it over.
That was a travel.
It doesn't matter because it's going the other way anyways. As driving inside, trying to go for the Euro step was Danica Walker. Ran into a wall in the form of Jasmine Davis. No call on the play.
You could almost see what Williams was thinking on that turnover. She was like, oh, should I dump it down in? No, and then couldn't make up her mind and turned it over, and Colts went the other way, but unfortunately unable to connect right now, but they still have possession. Let's see if they can get two.
It was Hawkins trying to get it in there for Walker. She's going to try the entry pass one more time, guarded heavily, and going up for it, and one!
So Walker, using her strength, using her power to back down the defender, goes over her shoulder, as we can see here on the rebound. That's Davis, Jasmine Davis, guarding Walker fiercely, using everything in her power to just stay in front, but unable to get their fouls. And Walker gets the hoop and the harm. Let's see if she can complete the three-point play.
That is a big woman to go through at 6'1" to the much smaller Walker, 5 inches shorter at 5'8".
I always wonder about basketball heights. I'm not sure if I ever trust them. Doesn't matter what level it is. I see guys on teams that say they're 6 feet, and me being a 5'9" man, I stand up beside them and say, hey, we're the same height. How are you 6 feet and I'm 5'9"? There's some interesting math there.
I always said 6'2".
Oh, you're a 6'2" man.
I always said 6'2". Look, I'm 6'1 and a half.
Okay, 6'1". I'll take that.
I can round up. I think I've earned that.
You absolutely can round up in that situation.
Dominguez mishandling the inbounds, but secures it and gets it across center for the Colts as Hawkins driving right through Ava Proskos.
Maybe that has to do with her putting her shoulder down, but Proskos was clearly moving there. And yep, you can look, it's a little forearm shiver from Hawkins there. Ref's going to call that every single time you push up. Very easy call to make.
So I believe that's actually Hawkins' third foul. We have the live stats updating to our side, so we can get that for you in just a moment. But it's Proskos at the top who hands it back to Dawkins, who's checked back into the game.
So right now they're only listing her with one foul, but take some time to update. That shouldn't be the case, but we'll see what happens there. But Hawkins currently standing at 1, potentially 2 fouls. Once we get an update on that, we'll get back to you.
So it's Colts ball after a layup attempt was stripped by Danica Walker. It deflected off of Proskos. So it's back in favor of Centennial as Michael just decides to dribble right through the press.
Nice little press break right there. Runs right down the court and gets an easy 2.
That's all you got to do, really. Sometimes the pass isn't going to be there. Just take it yourself.
Absolutely. It's a diversion, too, right? You see this a lot in soccer, too. They're just called dead runs, essentially. Player goes on a run just to create a diversion, and that's what they were doing on the inbound there to break the press.
Baseline jumper good for Jasmine Davis. 27-22, the Huskies lead. It's Michael. Entry pass to Dowrich going right over top. In and out once again. Tower Dowrich getting very unlucky in the early
unlucky.
going.
I've seen her make that basket probably 100 times in practice and in games over the last 2 years, so very surprising. She just can't get the little gimmies here.
That floater was an air ball, and that one off.
Smart play there by
the
Zane.
leg.
Realizing that she's trapped here on the inbound off the double team, so just throws it off the GBC Huskies to free up some space for herself, and she's going to have a nice little inbound here. Colts are going to have an opportunity to reset it up. Let's see what they run, but last time is a quick little inbound pass back to Zane so that she could cut down, but so let's see how these off-ball runs work. So yep, once again we see the break.
It's looking a lot stronger now as Michael trying to find the option in the corner. And it's going to stay in the Colts' favor as that one's stripped out. Tiffany James has checked back in.
Valencia giving a little
Michaela
hand
Hawkins.
motion. Sir, that went off their hands last, but ref says nope, Colts ball.
It's Michael on the inbounds. A lot of good options down low. Coach Mulling said the strategy is we got to go on rim runs today. A lot of driving to the basket to beat this team as Michael up top, driving left, tried to drive inside, loses it, going the other way now are the Huskies, and with it is Dawkins. Dawkins in the corner finds Asasui. Spin dribble going baseline, backdoor feed. Abutulam misses the jumper in the hands of Walker, tipped by Abutulam, so actually guzzled up by Asasui.
So Abatula hasn't been able to find the back of the bottom of the hole, but has created 3 turnovers since substituting in. So may not have happened on the offensive end, but certainly coming in as a defender, she's been active. She's been interrupting the passing lanes and is creating additional opportunities for the Huskies. So great work by her. Just hopefully, maybe she'll get into an offensive flow, but we'll see there.
That one tipping off the hands of Danica Walker, who actually came up stumbling a little bit, but seems to be okay, will stay in the game. The miss there by Proskos, rebounded by Dowrich, who's running the other way, looking for an option. Quick little fake, goes up for the jumper, no good.
Yeah, she realized that she was on the smaller defender. Mouse in the house, as they say, tried to take a shot over her, but unfortunately unable to connect, and unfortunately Dowrich's cold streak continues.
It's Dawkins who hands it to Proskos in the middle to Asasui. Nice ball movement by the Huskies. Nice spin move by Abutulam. And that's just good defense, good vertical defense by Danica Walker.
Nice little dump off pass there by Asasui to Abutala, but Abutala and had the nice spin there. You know, sometimes I wonder, you're defended so hard and this is just as an athlete, you find yourself in unexpected positions where you're more open than you thought you were, and you take a double think. You're like, oh, wait, I didn't expect to be right open there, and she bumbled it. So she had an opportunity off of the spin to go right up, as the coach is telling her, but she clearly didn't expect to be that far open, and unfortunately turned it over on that situation there.
Nah, I felt guilty of that one when you're on that low block, and you're trying to drop that, and you're trying to have that drop step, and you think you're gonna have to make a fake on the way up.
Yeah.
Then you make that move, and
no one's there, and you expect, oh, okay, I've got a defender on me. The defender's not there, so you think you can go up, but you were already anticipating the contact, so you just kind of throw it away. It happens all the time. Doesn't matter at what level. It just has to come down to, defending, anticipation, experience, all these types of things. It's all part of the game. But, yeah, I can guarantee you that the Huskies coach is saying, hey, you had the opportunity. You broke 3. Just go up strong with it.
So Centennial down 5 with 2:02 left to go in the first half. They've been hanging around. The defensive intensity, we've really liked what we've seen so far. It's really on the offensive end that Centennial needs to buckle down, and that's how they're going to get back into this game. And it's been a lot on the turnover battles. The Colts already in double digits. As we mentioned earlier, 20 turnovers a game for this Colts team. They put up just 48 points per game as the press is out, as Walker has it in the front court for the Colts. It's back out to Michael, who's driving left, looking for an option. It's Dowrich at the free throw line in the corner. Dominguez for three, no good, short. Dowrich trying to reach for it there, rebound Proskos.
The crazy thing is, when you're shooting 26% and you've lost 2 games by 1 point each, gosh, it makes you wonder. If you just hit it at 30%, 40% clip, it's like a 20-point win. So just being able to make those shots makes all the difference. So
that was a nice feed inside by Zane Michael. Looked off Dominguez in the corner and found Dowrich right up the gut. 1:15 left to go, 3-point game.
We see Hawkins on the sideline waiting to come in. See when she comes in on the substitution. Not sure if she's going to get an opportunity to come in before the half. The Colts drop 5.
Only about 2 seconds to cross center here, and they're going to call 8.
Ref calls 8-second turnover.
Zane Michael just losing the ball here, wasted a few of those precious seconds the Colts needed to break the press.
And again, that just comes down to decision making, because Zane, she has to know, I'm coming up, I only have 8 seconds. If I've lost it, I have to assume, I have to be thinking, I got to get this up faster. So that means that she can't go to James on the right-hand side. She has to immediately go into the front court. Unfortunately, she doesn't make the right decision there. It goes to James, and James not left with the best opportunity, facing on the strong side, and it's going to be a turnover 8-second call.
So a very late timeout called, as it's going to be George Brown ball off the Centennial turnover.
Yeah, you want to keep it a 2-possession game heading into the second half. What I can imagine if I'm Mullins right now, I'm kind of telling, hey, we need to tighten up on defense. They cannot get a clean shot at this, and we cannot go into this half being stuck 7. Or making that a 3-possession game. So, got to defend strong here. She's probably drawing up, maybe a trap, maybe some type of defending on the inbound. We'll see. I'd have to see. Keeping track of the timeouts. I'm not sure if this is a front court timeout, so we'll see coming out of the ball. But if it is a front court, then Colts are going to have to operate in the half-court set. We'll see what they can do in that time. But they've been good in the half-point set. They, in terms of points in transition, haven't done that as well. But we'll see what happens here, and it is going to be front court. So we're going to see how the Colts defend this inbound. But we've got 2 guards, so look for a double screen potentially. Yep, and we see the screen on Valencia. Oh, Atuba, there you go. Did not expect that, but great there. Great, nice little defending.
7 seconds on the shot clock. It's out to Dawkins. Good defense by Hawkins. And that one inside to Asasui, and just in the nick of time. Coming back the other way are the Colts. 10-second differential, game clock, shot clock. Michael gets it over to Hawkins. Hawkins driving straight in, looking for Michael in the corner. A little bit of a miscommunication as Zane Michael was looking to come up to the top. Yeah. Hawkins thought she could find her in the corner. So the shot clock's going to be turned off. This should be the last possession of the first half, as a long pass eventually taken by Proskos, and looking for the 3 there was Dawkins, but returned it to Proskos, who's the sharpshooter on this team, as 5 seconds left. Running down the floor, Tiffany James, and a blocking foul is going to be called, and that's going to send the Centennial Colts to the line. So a chance at a free 2 points with 3.5 seconds left to go.
Guarantee you, kind of looking at the sidelines from the coach, and he's just throwing his hands up. You bailed the Colts out there with the sloppy defending on the transition right there. So, he's not going to be happy about that as James steps to the line. She made 1 of 2 the last time. Let's see if she can carry both at the charity stripe. Colts are down at the moment 6, as we've got 3.5 seconds left going into the second half.
Both teams playing at about their season averages for the season. As 2 on the clock, and Proskos is going to get a shot off. No good. So Centennial does what you instructed, It's a 2-possession game as we go into halftime. And if you're Coach Naomi Mullings, you got to be happy with the defensive effort from your team, which has usually given up about 40 points a half.
Yeah, I mean, you certainly got to be happy with the 31 points, but what would really be great is shots start falling. I know there are averages for a reason, but at 26%, you're not going to get anything done at that point. So, the Colts are now tightening up on the defending side. Now, if they can just string that along on the offensive side, then they should be good on that front half. So, let's see what happens for the Colts.
So it's Tara Dowrich leading the way for Centennial with 8 points. She also has the game high as well with Anan Abutulam with the team high of 7 for the Huskies in the first half. It's 31-26. We'll have more basketball action for you out of halftime when we return in about 14 minutes' time.
All right.
Last ball for Diana. Oh, there it is. Come on down. We got 80 here ready to shoot. All right. By the way, this is Steve Morrison from our men's soccer team. Thank you guys for Here's what we got. We got 2 minutes to make it up. You make that. Free throw. Got 2 shots for that. So, if you make that, move back. You got 2 shots, 3, 4. If you make that, you only got 1 shot for that. They go low, that's all. Love it. Go ahead. Oh, man, next throw is for him. 1 down. Ready for the throw? One more time, next motion. Ceremony. You know what I mean? I love the attempt fun over here. We're not going to have an attempt to hit the others. I love the little motion that we're shooting for you. Okay, next one was for 80. 80. Okay, I got one more thing. Since it's an international student tonight, I need a couple people from the stands that are willing to do something for surprises. Anybody over there take it? I don't know over there. I think it does. I want you up at the top. Come on down. Who else? I need one more. Keep your hands up. Not a chance, sir. Keep your hands up. Nope, not a chance. Keep your hands up. Yeah, right in front here. Yep. Come on over here. All right, Grant, we got 2 people here. We got Apple, Lance, Edward. Now you're here. Make some noise for them. What we're going to do here, we're doing as many baskets as they can make in 1 minute. I got some glasses hand out for the women. And go ahead. Speedy on the left, and we're out going to free throws. You're going left. 35 more seconds. Come on, man, chill on. One more seconds, as many baskets as you can, come on. And that's going to do it. How many baskets do you have up there? That's going to end the minute. Make some noise for them. Follow over here at the table. That guy was the winner over here. Let's make some noise for Everett. He's got about 5 blocks for both of you, though.
Welcome back inside the AWC here at Centennial College's Progress Campus. Once again, I'm Zachary Friedman, joined alongside by Ryan Miller. It's the second half of the first half of our doubleheader of basketball action here on Coltsnet Live. It is the women's basketball team kicking it off for us, down 5. The score is 31-26 for the visiting George Brown Huskies. As it stands right now, Centennial closing out the half positively, doing what they had to do on the defensive end. But still, the offense has been better than their season average, but still not quite where the team needs it to be for them to come out with a victory. Once again, the Colts looking for their first win of the season, an 0-4 start, but they were just on the road for 3 straight games and have returned home as we're about to get set for the start of the second half. The possession arrow points in favor of the home team Colts, as it's going to be Tiffany James with Zane Michael, Eliana Dominguez, Michaela Hawkins, and Tara Dowrich.
But that's exactly why. That's exactly why they didn't want to go in. Stuck 7. They don't have possession right now. Giving them an opportunity to go up 9 if they don't. So good thing on the Colts to cut it down to 5.
All right, my directions mixed up. Huskies start with the ball, and Valencia finding Akoji, driving in on Dowrich. Gets it out to Williamson for Littman, who bobbles it, guarded heavily by Dominguez. Inside to Williamson, trying to go over top Dowrich, throws it into the boards, or the backboard. The offensive rebound easily taken by Akoji for the first 2 of the second half.
So definitely need a little bit more size. Michaels was just overmatched, and she's met at the line, trying not for an over and back. So good on her to dump it off to James, and she's got Hawkins in the corner. Hawkins for 3. Unlucky.
That one coming up short. Rebound Abutulam. That looked like a carry and a walk, but it was stolen by Hawkins, but recaptured by Williamson.
So Williamson, this is the second opportunity where she's gone in, not sure exactly what she's going to do. Refs are kind of talking over what happened there in that possession. As you indicated, a bit of a walk and a carry, but they're not going to be hurt, not going to be penalized for it. So
early substitution here as Jordan Dawkins checks in for Adrian Williamson. Dawkins, the second leading scorer on this Huskies team at 9.4 points a game. And Abatulam has it at the top, 13 on the shot clock for the Huskies. It's Littman in the corner, inside to Akoji, backing down Dowrich, working inside, eventually gets it over top. That's just better offense beating good defense.
Yep. It's tough sometimes. You do everything that you can as a defender, and they still pop in 2. So tough move there. James,
nice little Euro there for Tiffany James.
Floater, despite it looking like an easy shot, it has to be one of the hardest shots in basketball to make. You're coming off speed, you're doing a body adjustment, so great work there by James.
Off the steal, Dowrich coming the other way, finds Dominguez, tried to get it across to Hawkins, I think, but that one was swatted away, and Abatulam going back the other way gets the transition layup to go.
Yeah, Dominguez went over the top, but as a smaller player, she would have been better served with a bounce pass. She had Hawkins coming in and unfortunately turned it over there.
Hawkins getting it to go that time with the right hand. And trying to advance the ball quickly, Valencia finding Littman with the entry pass to Abatulam, who kind of gave a shove to Tiffany James. No call, works it underneath to Akoji, and puts it up for the layup.
It looks like Mullins unhappy with the Colts defending early on in this second half. She's going to bring Walker in, looking for a little bit more intensity. Seems like team's sleeping a little bit as we're 7 minutes, 40 seconds into the second half. Colts down 9 right now. Started off at 5, but unfortunately giving up a couple of quick early baskets. And Mullins going to have a talk with Hawkins. I think that she wasn't happy with that last turnover, which is why, or that last bucket, which is why she's bringing in Walker. Hawkins had an opportunity for the seal out, but unable to get anything there. So Mullins taking her out, saying, hey, look, if you're going to play down low, you're one of our biggest players. You're going to have to defend equally. You can't live you can't leave Dowrich down there by herself to defend all on her own. So let's see if any of those words have an effect, but you can clearly see that Mullins is not happy with the defensive intensity coming into this third quarter.
It's Colts ball after a Dominguez steal led to a foul on the Huskies. It's in there to Danica Walker with Dowrich driving middle, looking for an option. Just went airborne there, not what you want to do when there's no choices. And Littman, nice pass there to Dawkins, but she has to pass it out to Valencia. And back in the corner to Dawkins. Over to Littman in the middle. That is Akoji, guarded by James, spins back to the left, and that one misses short. Asasui trying to fight for the rebound with Dowrich there. And we're going to have the three men in gray talking it over.
Someone's saying it's out, someone's saying it's this way, someone it's that way. They find agreement, and it's going to be Huskies ball. Not the call that Coach Mullins is going to want to hear. But that's the situation.
It's Dawkins to inbound, wide open in the corner. Valencia takes the three, no good. Long rebound there for Martin.
And Martin, lucky she didn't get punished for that one. She was looking right at the center of the court, didn't even acknowledge the Huskies shooter on the outside there, but bailed out on the missed three. And apologies there.
It's Martin, nice move, finding Walker!
And that's exactly why you have someone with more veteran experience in there to settle down the possessions. Michael's obviously, despite being a little bit faster, maybe a little bit more athletic, doesn't have the same decision-making skills as the veteran Martin, and you can see right there, just on that nice little 2-on-1, helping Walker get the easy two.
That one was stripped away, and they're going to give it in the Colts' favor. Is off the strip by James. It bounces off the foot of Littman.
And it looks like that substitution in terms of defensive energy worked. Walker forcing 2 turnovers there, helping the Colts get back in, and she's going to come out after Hawkins gets a quick little breather and a talk with Mullins. So let's see what happens.
It's Hawkins, nice in and out dribble, just drives into the lane hard. Gets fouled on the way, and Michaela Hawkins will go to the line for a couple opportunities.
Yeah, Okoji there looked like she almost took a knee into the stomach, maybe just off of the thigh from the slashing Hawkins, but seems to be okay, and it's going to be a foul, though, as Hawkins steps to the line.
Walker checks back in quickly. She comes in for Dowrich. As the first free throw by Hawkins is just a little too strong. Hawkins on the year now, 10 of 19 from the free throw line.
Got to make your free throws. It's not always going to be quiet. You got to stay at the line, calm yourself, and just bury it.
Second free throw goes, so it's a 6-point game, 39-33. George Brown leads with 6:10 left to go in the third quarter as Valencia, finding Akoji on the inside, gets Hawkins to fly by and up for the easy two. And that one, like a safety from the back, Asasui picking off the transition pass, and now it's Akoji on the inside for the Huskies, spins left again, no good, gets her own miss again, and now it's going back in the Colts' favor. It's Dominguez. Dominguez gets stripped but comes down with it. That's going to be a travel. The ball came loose, Ryan, however. That should be a jump ball.
Jump ball, but these are FIBA rules, so it would have been at least a change of possession there, depending on who the possession arrow is. And I was going to say the Raptors, I meant to say the Colts, have possession. So, but Mullins looking a little muffed, not sure there. She was sure also that Dominguez had lost possession and regained it while in the air. So curious little up and down travel call there. It's going to be Huskies ball.
Inside, trying to get the ball into Davis there was Valencia. It just tipped off the finger. Nice defensive pressure from Tiffany James.
Yeah, Huskies are using their size right now. They've got Akoji, they've got Davis down low, both of them bigger than anyone on the Colts. Using that to use defensive rebounding, and they're punishing them as they're getting offensive rebounds left, right, and center and creating additional opportunities.
Dowrich off the Valencia missed three, takes it the other way for Centennial. Gets it up to Martin. In the high post, that's Walker, guarded by Davis. Swings it over to James, who's going to try a three. No good. Rebound Huskies. And going the other way, it's a quick 2-on-1 break. And the little fake there with the rebound by Asasui, no good. Rebound Williamson going up for a third opportunity.
Yeah, questionable pass there by Dawkins. She had the 2-on-1. She went for the fake. Her teammate had the mismatch, had the bigger size down there, and I believe that's Akoji was down there. And for whatever reason, Dawkins wants to take it. Maybe that's why she is the leading scorer. Wanted to just get the bucket and get in there, but unfortunately misses it. Fortunately enough, she has the size on them, or her teammates at least have the size to secure the rebound, creating additional opportunities. Colts defense collapses, fouls, and now the Huskies are at the line shooting two.
First free throw was good from Williamson. Second free throw no good, so it remains a single-digit lead for the Huskies at 9, 42-33, as we're past the halfway mark of the third quarter. Driving in Williamson. Nice steal there by Hawkins, trying to advance it to Michael. And Michael will have to take a breather while the rest of the Colts make it into the front court. That one tipped, or not tipped, I guess throwing it straight out of bounds there was Zane Michael.
Yeah, and we talked about it earlier this game. Michael needs to clean up the turnovers, still not unable to do it, and it's starting to cost the Colts as they're down 9 right now.
Especially it's been a couple of the times going to that corner where the second player's made a different action.
Yep. That's
confused her a little bit.
That comes down to just team chemistry and knowing Michaels is the rookie.
Wrapped up there was Walker as she tried to advance it to Dowrich. No call, but she finds Walker on the inside. A bit of a walk there on the stumble, but missing the layup as it was awkward from the start, and James gets the steal there. She's going to drive it to the bucket herself. Fade away. That one blocked at the rim by Dawkins. It's advanced to Littman, wide open in the middle, and that one's deflected by Hawkins, and it'll remain Huskies basketball, but you're looking just about as frustrated as Coach Mullings over there.
I'm as frustrated as both of these coaches. That sequence, that last minute and a half sequence, you got to slow it down. You got to control the ball. There's too much frantic movement, throwing the ball, trying to take advantage. More often than not, if you just wait out the opposite player, your defender or whatever, you're going to have clear opportunities, but both teams rushing and not creating good opportunities, good possessions out of the ball. Just a lot of turnovers. It's not the prettiest brand of basketball right now, as we're sitting at about 42-33 for the Huskies. And it looks like Olivia back.
Erica Diab with the rebound. We haven't seen her since the first quarter where she made a big impact on the defensive end.
Yep.
It's Hawkins over to James, finding Barakat Diab in the post. Going inside as James makes that turnaround move again. Back out to Barakat Diab as Hawkins. And the Colts defense with 3 on the shot clock just have to throw it up. Michael has to throw it up again. And they're going to call a shot clock violation, so sloppy possession. Poor clock management by Centennial, and it's going to go right back the other direction. It's still 42-33, so if there's one thing that the Colts have going for themselves, is that George Brown's not doing their best offensively either.
Yeah, and both teams are even right now in terms of shooting percentage, both shooting at a 38% clip. But it's the turnovers, and it's the points in the paint. George Brown has doubled up the Colts points in the paint. So they've got 30 points to the Colts 18. Obviously, that size that they're using, it's to great effect. They're getting easy twos. You'd expect their percentage to be higher when you're scoring that many points in the paint, but nothing doing. 66, they're about 50% free throws. Both teams aren't shooting free throws either particularly well, so we'll see here. But the key for the Colts right now in the second half is they got to stop the point. They got to stop the turnovers, and they got to stop, allowing these easy buckets. Force teams to shoot from outside.
Zane Michael with a triple.
And that's what good offenses do. You swing it along the outside, find the open person, drains the 3. Great shot there by Michael.
It's Abutulam working on Barakat Diab, just heaves one up there, in and out. Hawkins with the board and starts going the other way. And good screen there set by James, allows Hawkins to step into a jumper, and that one was clean.
Wet, as they say, nothing but the bottom of the net. Ripping through the bottom. Nice little pull-up too from Hawkins.
It's Valencia. And now over to Dawkins, who's going to try a three of her own. No good rebound, Dowrich. And she's going to go with some speed the other direction. It's Michael into Barakat Diab, blocked in the paint. Once again, that's Jordan Dawkins. And driving inside, but I believe Zane Michael was in the restricted area on that, so no call. Easy two for Abutula.
Abutula just using her big body, putting Michaels down on the floor and going up for the nice strong two there.
Another miscommunication between a teammate and Zane Michael as Dowrich not rolling off of the screen, and Hawkins is going to be called on the reach.
Yep, Michael continuing with the turnovers. Just hasn't been her day today so far, and throughout the season needs to really clean that up if we're going to see anything from her. But Colts have clawed their way back in it. They're only down 4. They were down as much as 11 at the start of this quarter. They've cut it down. They're now only down 6 points, looking to make it to 4, have a very good chance of cutting it down to 4, but looks like the Huskies are tired of having their small bench. They've put in some of their bigger players, see if they can pound down low and beat the Colts.
At the top, Proskos with the miss, and it's rebounded by the Colts. That one tipped away by Proskos, and a foul's going to be called on Ava Proskos.
Love the team. Love the team. Love seeing the team all jump off the bench to help Martin up. Great teamwork there. Really seeing some more unity. Team was a little bit disjointed at the beginning, but they seem to really be enjoying. You know, it's always amazed. I'm always amazed, you know, as a former player myself, just how much vibes and energy between the teams can affect your play. Obviously, when you're not winning, it's hard for that good energy to flow, but the Colts seem to be in better spirits and are continuing to attack, not allowing themselves to get down too much.
So off the travel, it's Valencia going the other way for the Huskies. Easy feed inside to Davis.
Yeah.
And you just can't let your you can't let your assignment behind you as Valencia gets another steal off this press. The layup's too strong, and going the other way is Dowrich. In the corner, trying to grab it with one hand there is Danica Walker, and you just got to do a better job to secure the basketball.
Two-hand pass, two-hand catch. One-on-one, like none of this flashy stuff. Just get back to the basics. You're looking at this game, and for every, and again, sayings are the same, but every one step backwards, 2 steps back for the Colts to be in this game. For every bucket they get, they give over a turnover. Maybe they miss a shot. Maybe they give up an offensive rebound. All the hard work, they're just giving it back on the end. So got to do a little bit better on that front if they're going to do anything. But right now, it's just not it's not going their way. The lead is back at 8.
The crazy thing is that, we've seen such, I don't want to call it sloppiness because it seems almost a little rude. But it's been sloppy.
It's been sloppy.
It's been sloppy.
A spade's a spade. You got to call it as you see it.
But the Colts are still hanging in there. This is still a very doable margin, like a deficit for them. 8 points is nothing in the game of basketball.
Absolutely not. The way that people shoot, well, now, it remains to be seen, but outside shooting, the prevalence of the 3, could 2 threes and a 2 and you're back in this game, you're leading. So it doesn't take a lot. It's just, it's 2 possessions. If you're good, if you're smart, it just comes down to if the Colts, they really want this, they got to tighten up the turnovers and they got to just hit some shots. There's a reason why they say it's a make or miss league, and in this instance, just in general in the sport of basketball, you got to make your shots if you got to win.
So we're into the last minute of the third quarter. 40 seconds tick off the clock, and it's Valencia at the top. Dishes off there for Proskos, driving with speed, just finds the hole and drives it right down the lane.
Yep, too easy there.
And the shot clock's going to be turned off. So this could be the last possession of the third quarter. And just crossing in the nick of time and getting blocked at the rim by Okoji was Zane Michael.
So Michael beating the two-on-one press, beating the double-team press right there, swooping into the lane, but only to have it turned back there by number 14, Okoji. So great job there by the Huskies to defend the slashing moves there by Michael.
Dominguez off the bank three, no good, fighting for the loose ball, and they're going to call a foul, but it is a foul to give for the Colts, so it's just going to be a side out of bounds. I like the aggression, though, trying to get a bucket, trying to bring it back to within single digits for the third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fourth quarter.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Game's flying by, but yeah, great defending. If they were in the penalty, that'd be a different situation because you're just giving free buckets when there's no opportunity, but can't be mad at that. We enter the fourth quarter. Colts are down 10. It's 48-38. We'll be right back. Tuning in to OCAA Live with Ryan Miller here and Zach Friedman. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to the Colts Nation. Son of our head coach, now long named Marty. Her son, Noah. Happy birthday to Noah.
And welcome back to Colts Now Live as we get set for the fourth quarter in this women's basketball match between the Centennial Colts and the George Brown Huskies. George Brown up 10 as we get set, but Centennial doing their job defensively, it seemed. Once again, Zachary Freeman and Ryan Miller bringing you all the action from this one. And then just a reminder, at the conclusion of this game, we'll have about a 35-minute pause while the men get warmed up as Michael's three is no good, as the 5-1 Centennial Colts men's team will take on the 6-1 George Brown Huskies.
Yeah, a battle of two of the top in the East Division. Should be a real showdown. As we talked about earlier, Colts men's basketball a little short-handed, but talking to some of the team, looks like a couple of guys are going to soldier through it. Was talking to Tavon Mars-Buckley earlier at halftime between this game. Thought he wasn't going to be suiting up for the next game. Told me, nope, this is my flu game. I'm coming in like Jordan. I'm going to drop about 50 on these dudes. So he's not worried. He's not scared. He says he has to muscle through it. He's not feeling his greatest, but you love the heart from guys like Tavon Mars-Buckley.
Dominguez into Dowridge. A little give and go there and shoves off Proskos. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Michael's got to take the three. That one well off and falls out of bounds. They're going to call shot clock violation. Despite that one going off of Proskos, wouldn't have been enough time for the Colts to have gotten an inbounds playoff. So it's another turnover for this Centennial Colts basketball team. But the defense, as we mentioned, has done its thing. Gloria Sassooni has been neutralized for the most part in this one, but Jordan Dawkins has started to feast a little more in the second half. She starts the fourth quarter on the bench as Valencia with an open drive trying to get it into Okoji, stolen by Dowridge. And going the other way is James, driving right up the middle in the corner. That's Dominguez looking for the swing back up to Michael. It's the right pass, but the wrong look. It's right in front of Michael was the defender, Valencia.
Yeah, that's a quick little look over, look off, fake pass, pull back right up. There's always got to be thinking about what your next move is and play with a little bit more confidence than Dominguez has showed this game. But
Dowrich missing that little floater as Akoji just hurls that one out of bounds, trying to find a teammate. So it's a turnover for George Brown, and the Colts will get the basketball as Shea Littman checks back in for Valencia.
So the Colts still stuck, although we are about 2-3 minutes into the fourth quarter. They're still down 10. No one has secured a bucket there. Nice little back pass there over. And Michael's trying to find Dominguez, and Dominguez has had trouble holding onto the ball this game and turns it over again for the Huskies inbound.
That pass a little too hot to handle for Dominguez, and it's Littman going the other way for the Huskies. In the corner for the first time today, that is Janice Chen. And it's rebounded by the Colts, and Dominguez goes the other way, finding Michael, who's going to take the transition three. No good. It's a good look. She had her feet set. That one just off the mark.
I fundamentally disagree with that type of shot. You're down 10. You don't need to hit the home run ball. You just need to get twos. Quick, nice, easy twos for your team to get back in this game. No need to cut it. You got 8 minutes left. Not sure why you're pulling up on a three off the inbound there, because that's what the Huskies have been doing.
Michael with a little ankle breaker. And then just
sits
throws
Proskast down. She keeps on getting met with that trap just over half, and they've done an excellent job trapping her there.
But for the first time I've noticed, in this corner right here by the center line, she's got her head down as she goes into the trap every time.
Yeah, you got to look up. You got to get rid of that ball. You may be the point guard. You're trusted to do stuff with the ball, but putting your head down and not looking for people is always, it's not going to be the thing that wins you these games. And nice save there by Hawkins as she slots it on over to Dowrich, but unable. Dowrich continues. Bunny's just bouncing on out. Rim is not her friend today. Colts stuck 12.
That one swatted away by Walker, but getting it was Williamson, who's driving strong. And that's going to be a traveling violation of all the things called in that situation.
Yeah, thought that was probably an offensive foul, the way she barreled her head down and the way that James just was there to beat her. But ref says travel. Interesting call.
But you know what? We'll give that turnover to James anyways. The defensive presence forced the turnover as Michael driving right and throws up a crazy shot with the
little bit of
defender
a there.
Plastered all over.
Yep.
And it seems like it's heave and pray right now for Zane Michael.
Yeah, Colts, they're doing A and B well. They just haven't been able to do A, B, C well. And right now that connection is getting buckets. They've done defending. They're working well in transition. They're working well as a team. It's just scoring and playing sound. It's not losing your head, which has been a challenge, certainly been a challenge for this team.
It's Chen who's going to take the three. That one well short, an air ball that bounces out of bounds, so the Colts will take possession.
Yeah, tough look there for Chen. She hasn't played all game. Legs maybe aren't warm, or as warm as they should be, especially when you're shooting shots short. Legs just aren't there right now, so let's see if she can clean that up as we go on throughout the rest of this game.
Michael spin, thought she got hit, and just threw it towards the bucket as Osasuni goes the other way. In the corner for Littman. That one's slipping through her fingers, but she gets it eventually. Now it's back out to Chen, who hits the three.
So Chen, who was short-legged on that first shot, has cashed the three. Immediately gets her redemption after missing her first shot.
Janice Chen has played in all games but one, as that one's well long, and it's starting to fall apart for Michael here in the fourth quarter. It's going to the bucket. Davis blocked by Dowrich, but Dowrich coming up awkwardly.
Doubt she's had issues with her ankle early on in this season. Let's see if she can shake it off, but I know that's bothering her. She had to sit out a lot of the preseason and early seasons with an ankle injury. Don't think that's a re-aggravation, but you can definitely see that she's laboring, wincing as she takes steps. I can see it on her face from here. Not comfortable moving around.
It's Hawkins who takes the inbounds with the Colts now down 15. Where did that come from? As the floater misses, and the rebound's gone by Hawkins, but it was an air ball, so not sure if they're calling a deflection on the defense. As Williamson goes the other way now for the Huskies.
I've been forced to eat my words a couple of times here. At the start of this half, you would have said, hey, Colts have only allowed 48 points through 4 quarters. That's probably their best defensive showing this season. But unfortunately, just can't get the offense to match it. So
it's Hawkins. And that one misses. And going the other way now is Osasuni, who has only Dominguez behind her.
Dominguez pulled up there a bit. Not really sure why. She pulled up as she was chasing down. Didn't seem like she knew exactly what she wanted to do. And Huskies get the easy basket.
Down low, that's Walker. And it's going to be called a held ball. So it's going to go in favor of the Huskies right now. So the possession arrow will change back to the Colts side for the next held ball.
Yep.
And bringing up the ball now will be Dawkins. Halfway through the final quarter of regulation. And that one's good by Dawkins. So George Brown's lead now up to 19, and the Colts' hope is fading away quickly.
Yep, they have yet to get a basket here. Wish I could have a little bit more positivity, but it's just tough right now.
It's
38
Walker.
points.
Dominguez back up to Hawkins. 5 on the shot clock. Just got to chuck it. Not in time. Nothing gets off, and Colts are falling apart.
And it looks like the coach for the Huskies, head coach Omari Wilshire, is going to bring in some of his bench players here. Not sure if he's just declaring this a win right now and kind of rolling out his team, but it looks like he's quite comfortable having some of his starters come off the play, as the Colts are down about 13 right now. Actually, it's correction, 15.
Aaliyah Palmer has checked in for George Brown. She's the only brand new to the game Husky on the floor, as it's Tiffany James working it inside to Walker, working on Palmer, tried to get it over top. Just couldn't get it to go. Palmer, the second tallest on this Huskies team, standing at 6 feet. And she gets it on the low block with Dowrich trying to work her way through Valencia. And they're going to call an offensive 3-second violation. So after the 3 in the key call, and with Barakat Diop checking in for the Colts, they will have the basketball with 3:45 left to go.
Colts down 19 right now. Had an opportunity to get in this game, but unable to score at all in the fourth quarter, and now they are down 19.
It's Martin driving baseline, and they're going to call another 3-second violation. That one, I think, is on Barakat Diop. Just parked in the lane a little too long. So the ball goes right back to George Brown as Proskos driving inside to Palmer, and she gets fouled. So Aaliyah Palmer will get a couple opportunities at the charity stripe. Palmer, also someone who's appeared in every game this season for the Huskies. However, just averaging around 3 minutes an outing. This is a chance for her first point of the season, and she gets it.
Yep, makes it a 20-point game with that basket. Her first points of the game. Probably most likely going to have this game out of reach, but air balls.
That one's a tough one, and she ran after it right away. Gets called for the lane violation.
It's always tough.
with 3:20 to go. This one seems out of reach for Centennial. Let's see if they can make a final push as James drives inside, and there's the Colts' first bucket of the fourth quarter.
And not getting back on defense.
Not getting back on defense, and they get lucky on that one.
Very lucky. Yep, that was Littman waiting there for the ball. A little bit of a short bounce there, unable to take advantage of being left alone all by herself. So we'll see what happens.
Dominguez has that one stripped away by Valencia, but she gets it back. Finds Barakat Diop. A wide open Michael in the corner. In and out. Offensive rebound, Dominguez. Back out to James. That's a travel.
Yep. And that's a move that she's been doing all game, and the Huskies have read it perfectly. They know she'll stop, she'll turn, and they face her right over there, forcing James to come up and forcing the turnover. So, you know, you got to, when you're attacking, you got to ferry up your attack. Defenses, they clue in. Coaches are very good at this level. They understand players' tendencies, and James walking right into that one. Travel.
It's a long three there. That's missed by Dawkins, and advancing the ball, Barakat Diop to Michael, and she gets fouled on her way to the hoop. So 2 shots coming up for Zane Michael, who it's good to see some positive things happening because this is a quarter that Zane Michael will want to forget.
Yeah, I mean, you've got friends, you've got family here. I see her talking to people on the sidelines, people giving her additional coaching. It's always hard when you're playing in front of family. And, you know, in games like this, maybe it just got a little bit too much pressure in this instance. And it's unfortunate because she's been great throughout this year. It's just a couple stumbles here and there. And, you know, unfortunately, it hasn't been the game that she would like. Certainly not. But Colts got to find a way as they continue on through this season. And will probably most likely, almost certainly fall to 0-5. Yep, correct. So got to figure something out here fast if they don't want their season to fall apart too quickly. But starting the season 0-5 is tough. There's no doubt about that.
At the top, driving inside. Proskos switching to the right hand. Rebound, Michael. And Michael working her way up the whole floor. And using the screen of Barakat Diop, pulling up for the triple, no good. Long rebound, fighting for it was Michael. Eventually Dominguez getting it. Barakat Diop driving baseline, going up for it strong. Getting fouled and will go to the line for 2 free throws. It's Olivia Barakat Diop at the line for her 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the season. First one was no good.
And yeah, it looks like Palmer's coming off after quick. You know, maybe potentially part of the reason why she hasn't been playing that lot is she's got that ankle wrap tape. Not sure if maybe she suffered a little bit of an injury earlier on in this game, but maybe a little bit of an indication as to why she wasn't playing early on in this season.
Asasuni from the corner, no good. Driving inside, this is James. Nice little fake, but the pass was there. Barakat Diop going for it there, but going the other way, this is Proskos. As we wind down, just 1:15 to go. And that pass by Asasui was tipped out of bounds by Tiffany James. So it's an 18-point lead for George Brown, who looks like they're going to hold on to this one and advance to 3-3 to get back to 500 on the season. That would actually match, I believe, their win total from the entirety of last season. So George Brown progressing to a level where they want to be this year.
Yep. We'll see. We've got about a minute left. Colts, if you're Coach Mullins, you got to just keep the, at this point, it's just motivation. You just got to find a way to kind of keep your team engaged, keep their heads held high, Sure, it's not the result that you want. Sure, you're down 0-5, but that doesn't mean that you give up. Again, season's young, things can change. I know that there are a couple of players in the second semester who will be cleared academically to play, which should give the team a little bit of a shot at the arm, but it's obviously not what they want. But at this point, you just got to figure out what you're doing, hammer down those issues, and just try and solve them as the season goes on. You got a little bit of the softer part of your season coming up, and that may be more of an opportunity to get a couple wins on the board. But right now, Colts just got to keep trying. At the end of the day, they can't give up. They just got to push through. So we got about a minute left. Colts down 18. Home court. It is international night as well as Movember. Remember that mental health and men's health is an important thing that we don't talk about enough here as a community. So making sure as we support Movember and supporting men's mental health, we know the Colts do, and we hope that you do as well.
And coming the other way is Michael, as we're now inside of 1 minute to go. And Asasui is going to get called for the foul just a little early. So 55.3 left to go in this one. Colts will have the ball. That's the foul to give. So next foul, and the Colts will be in the bonus. But for the Colts at this point, it's just about regrouping after what's going to be an 0-5 start, as running into our camera was Tiffany James. If only we had a replay of that one to see what our cameraman was going. Oh, we do! How fantastic. It was from earlier, but that's okay. And inside, that's Dominguez, no good. Rebound is up for grabs. And going up for it again was Danica Walker, but Asasui gets the rebound, and she just hurls it for Littman, and she'll take it in the front court. Bounce pass for Roscos, who's fouled by Hawkins, gets it to go, and she'll get a chance to go to the line and one. So George Brown gonna take this one. Centennial actually falling back right up onto their average. There was a offensive rebound off the free throw, so actually a 4-point play, as this will be the second to last possession as it goes for Hawkins, as we're actually going to have a very late timeout taken by the Huskies, and at this point, just dribble the ball out. Whether the Huskies want to try and run a good set or get people in the game that haven't, it's 18 seconds left in a 20-point game, and you have to wonder what the purpose of the timeout is. So as I was saying before, the Colts are falling back towards their mean for the season. Ended up shooting 29% tonight. They shoot 28.8 on the season from the field, shooting 15% from three, which is just about on par with their numbers. And they lose the turnover battle tonight to a George Brown team who, like we mentioned, turns the ball over nearly 30 times a game. Centennial with 22 turnovers tonight to the Huskies 19. Colts also getting out-rebounded by 7. And like Ryan mentioned before, George Brown doubling Centennial in terms of points in the paint. So the shot clock's turned off. This should be the last possession of the game. We'll see if George Brown chooses to dribble it out or chooses to run a play themselves. As that one's stolen off the inbound, so I guess the timeout did them no service, as going the other way, Zane Michael has it taken away by Dawkins, and it's going to be guarded heavily, taken away, and they're going to call a kick ball. So it's going to stay Colts basketball, but it kind of seems like a karmic moment that right off the inbounds out of that late George Brown timeout, it was taken away by the Colts, as with 3 seconds left, going to the bucket, And this one's going to be drawn out a little bit longer as Danica Walker is going to go to the line for 2 free throws. It was Anan Abatulam today for the Huskies leading the charge. She led both teams in scoring with 13 points, with Amana Koji with double digits as well, scoring 10 points. Jasmine Davis, though, with a big game inside, 10 rebounds. Gloria Asasui adding 8 of her own for Centennial. No one in double digits today, as this one now hits triple zeros. Red lights up the scoreboards as the Huskies take this one by 18, 62-44 the final. And Naomi Mullings is going to have a lot of talking to do after this one, as it seems like the Colts were just right there for a large chunk of it. Just let it slip away from them in the latter stages. But that is not the end of our Colts basketball coverage tonight, as in about 30 to 35 minutes time, we will have Centennial Colts men's basketball coming at you right here from the AWC. We'll have them get going. It's the 5-1 Husky, or it's the 6-1 Huskies taking on the 5-1 Colts. All that and more coming up in a half hour's time. Please stay with us.